this practice, I'd like you to grab one of your own clips that has some kind of movement in it. You really won't get any effect, won't be able to understand what's going on if you don't have movement. Or you could use mine if you still have them, like the People Subway or the People Broadway cars, anything like that. Okay, so a couple of things. If you want to adjust the speed of a clip, you can right click and you can go to speed/duration, and you could reduce it by %. And you could also, if you wanted to make your clip go backwards, this is where you would go to do it. You would choose reverse speed, and that's going to make it play backwards. All right, so that's one option that you can get to from right-clicking speed. Another thing that might be kind of interesting here would be the options under the frame hold. So you have a couple of different frame hold, add frame hold, insert frame hold segment. So frame hold, I'm going to put an add frame hold, and what it does is it takes that last frame right before I added the frame hold and it freezes it. So there now, and we'll choose a different one. Insert frame hold segment is just going to take that last frame and hold it for a segment. So I want it to be frozen for a second and then people start walking again. All right. Undo that. And frame hold options allows you to pick hold on where you are in your time code. If you had set an in and out point, where your playhead is. So in other words, you get some more specifics as to where exactly it's going to create that frame hold. All right, so those are all kind of interesting techniques that might come in handy here. I also want to point out the effect under time. There are two here that could be interesting. So I'm on my effects control panel, I've under video effects, and I've opened up time. The first one is one I kind of like, it's called echo. So I'm going to double click. And what it does is it creates a repeat image of every single frame. So this is how you can get that kind of like drunk or dizzy effect. When you first open it up, you'll notice that your clip becomes very bright, and that's because it has this blending mode add. So under Echo Operator, if Echo is not open, by the way, you should open it up and you can go down to the bottom, Echo Operator. And so you can choose different blending modes. So screen or blend or something like that. The second thing is you're going to choose the number of echoes, so how many times it repeats. I'm just going to put a large number up here, like 6. And then we're going to start to see the image itself echoing and repeating afterwards. Now, if your computer has a hard time playing this back for you, then, and I think I'm going to switch this to screen mode, then remember that you can make an in point and an out point and go up to sequence and choose either render into out, or just to render the effects, render effects into out. And that little section that is green now, and that's just going to depend on how large an in and out point you made, will now play back in real time. And so now I can get that effect of the echo, which is very good if you want to make something that felt dreamlike, or I had someone who wanted to recreate a drunk driving scene, and so they used this effect for making it look like the person was drunk. I'm going to remove that one now. And the other one here, posterize time, is for controlling the frame rate. So if I wanted to slow this down, you could do something very extreme, slow it down to like 2 frames per second, and that would make it look almost like this old-fashioned film or like a stop motion. It's going to be very jumpy. Yeah, you can see how it starts to play back. So you could make things go faster this way, or slow them down. And the same thing, you know, you could, because we have the mask here, so you could have a section that is going slower and a section that is going faster. So I'm going to just reset this back to what it was. It was on frame rate 24 frames per second. And I'm going to slow the whole thing down to 2. And then I'm going to put a mask. And that's going to be right kind of in the middle. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So now we're going to have this kind of interesting effect where parts of my clip are going faster and parts are going slower. So I have my in and out point here, and I'm going to render my effects because I know that my computer's not going to play it back in real time. And so now you can see this really weird effect where it starts to play and parts of it are going at one speed, and then it kind of enters into this void, and then it gets like super choppy because, and what I'm seeing in here, the frames are going at 2 frames per second. You could do the same thing with the echo. That could be kind of cool. We'll get rid of this one. Probably work better than on this one. So echo, again, I'm going to switch it to screen. I'm going to move it up to 5 echoes, and then I will put the mask on it. So I have one section that has the echo happening. You know what, this time I'm going to make a different mask. I'm going to delete that mask. Just clicked on the mask and deleted it, and I'll make a oval. All right, so my effect is just happening in here now. So that also could be kind of interesting. I'm going to do my sequence, render effects into out. And now it's going to play back. And so once they enter into this area here, they're affected by that echo. So they're kind of like moving along, and then all of a sudden they get echoed inside of here. Okay. All right, so just, keep playing with these different effects, and remember that you can always kind of tweak them a little bit more once you start working with the mask as well.